taking guests. I want to hear the stories of queer Christians who have, because they all have stories. I would love to have people come on here and share so you can see just what it means. Because, I mean, hey, let's face it, I'm straight. I don't really know what it's like to be a gay Christian. Hey, Robbie, good to have you again. I love it that you keep coming back when I do lives, usually in the morning, I guess it is. Man, I had a guy last night. I've decided to switch things up because I wonder if I can make this bigger. Because he, and I wanted to like, here I am stumbling over my words, but you're the only one listening, so it's all good. Yeah, why not? Hey, so what? So last night, so what had happened when the first time I did a live here on my computer, I think you came on and Art came on and we had a nice conversation. And then the next time I went live, it was somebody who was like, "No, you can't be gay and Christian," or whatever. And actually, he was more respectful than that. But I did some educating. We talked about the different Bible passages, and it was a good conversation I had with two people. But then last night, this guy was on, and he was saying all kinds of weird things like, "No, there's always a cause. There's always, some kind of abuse or something," and then I'm just like, no, not true. So I brought up Justin Lee. You might be familiar with him and his book Torn.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I brought him up, and the guy's like, no, he was abused as a kid by like a babysitter or a teacher or something. And I'm like, well, he said he explicitly in his book that he was not. And he's like, well, yeah, he wasn't by his parents. And I was like, oh goodness. And I can't fact check anything on my computer right now because my computer is old and doesn't have enough RAM. It barely can host the live. Well, hi there on YouTube, sorry. My mom say hello. Welcome. It's your mom.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, goodness, I'm just like, so he was saying stuff and talking about this and that, and afterwards I went on and talked to Gemini about it. I was like, this is what happened. This was the person's screen name on TikTok, He claimed to be a coach, but he didn't have any information about it. So I'm thinking that he was making things up, or maybe he is doing some kind of conversion therapy. Well, it's illegal, honestly, in many places, but yeah. So.
No, I'm gonna connect with you on that because there are a lot of people that claim one thing and say another.
Yeah.
So if you do your research and stuff on different topics, especially within the LGBT community, you will learn and find out that not all of us are the same.
For real.
I'm a gay Christian, obviously. My husband is still trying to figure out what he identifies with as far as that goes, religion-based. But he's willing to at least try going to church with me and see how he feels about it, getting his foot in the water a little bit. But I've struggled with church my whole life. I didn't have trauma due to, I had a little bit when I was a kid, but then I had people when I was still presented as female hitting on me and stuff like that. But I've been trans since I was a kid. I knew I was different. I said something to my parents and they're like, oh, it's just a phase. You'll get over it. You'll grow into your body and you'll love yourself just who you are,
Yeah.
the way God made you. That wasn't the case. I still didn't look who I was growing up.
Yeah.
And the fact that I feel better as a guy and I'm more confident in myself since I transitioned and stuff,
Yeah.
not afraid to talk about things, says a lot.
It does.
Yeah. And I like educating people because that's the only way they're going to really learn that
Yeah.
in the Bible it says nothing about who we are.
Yep.
It points to Sodom and Gomorrah, which a lot of people misinterpret that part of the Bible as well as being men should not lie with men. It's related to a different story altogether.
Exactly.
If people actually really read the Old Testament, they would really understand that was not meant for us. That was meant for a time where it was men who slept with boys, very young boys.
Yeah. Or servants, or
yeah, servants, yeah.
and also humiliating men, and which I mean that still happens in prison today. Men.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Very much so.
It's well documented.
You become someone's bitch when you're in prison.
Yep. I just wanted to take a quick hi to everyone that's watching on YouTube. I've got a TikTok live going at the same time, and I'm talking with Robbie here, who is a trans Christian, and he's just sharing his story. So I hope you can hear.
Yeah, if you can't, let us know. I'll speak up as much as I can for you guys.
The camera's right next to the speaker,
Okay,
so it
yeah,
should be
so
fine. Should be good. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I've been out since 2017. I came out because my best friend at the time, who was my girlfriend, who also happens to be trans as well, but she's male to female, and she's freaking awesome. She's my bestie, and also it's the word. She's been my go-to person since I started my transition. She still is the go-to person I go to every once in a while and finding about stuff, and so she'll check in on me periodically, especially since recently, not that long ago, I had a little bit of a mental breakdown, but that's gotten a lot better. I've been doing a lot better mentally. I also have what's called DID, which is dissociation identity disorder.
Uh-huh.
On top of me already having issues. And I've had that since I was a kid, but and I'm going to be honest with you, Robbie is the main host. I am one of the hosts at the moment.
Okay.
My names are, but the only reason why Robbie would prefer to have Robbie on the account is because he doesn't want to make it too, like, out there and stuff, not to be, like, weird or anything, but it's, like, not something we want to advertise, so we just stick with his name. But I do, when we do our lives, I put R because that's who I am. That's my name go by, just the letter R. Because
okay.
Robbie, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'll try to remember that. So I just thought I would address a couple of these comments.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so someone says, yes, I have to be honest with you. As a Christian, it is an abomination to God. So, first of all, we need to understand what the word abomination means.
Yeah.
It can be anything from a social taboo to something involving idolatry. Hey, thank you for the likes. Love that. In Exodus, and I don't know the passage off the top of my head, but I understand that the reason that Moses gave to Pharaoh why they couldn't just do their worship there in Egypt, why they had to leave and go out 3 days into the wilderness, was because they sacrificed animals as part of their service, and sacrificing these sacred animals, they were considered sacred in Egyptian culture, was a social taboo. It was called an abomination. Another way that the Bible uses the word abomination is to refer specifically to idolatry. In Jeremiah 7, God is talking and he says, "You have set up your abominations in the house that is called by my name." And we know that during that time, either right before Jeremiah's time or maybe even during it, they were setting up idols in the temple of God. And so God calls that an abomination. And what makes it really interesting is that if you look at Leviticus, where it says a man in line with a man is an abomination, in Leviticus 18, the verse before and the verse after are talking about pagan worship practices which are in service of idolatry. So an abomination is something that is either a cultural taboo of that time, which may or may not be a cultural taboo today, or it is something that is idolatrous. God is saying, you're worshiping something other than me, and that's an abomination to me. Two men who fall in love is just like a man and a woman falling in love. How is that an abomination?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and to answer your question, Carrison, I am going to stay strongly. We are not trying to change anything about what the Bible says. I was raised as a Christian, baptized as a Christian. And Nicholas, I will get to that in a minute. It is not unnatural for a man to be with a man, just as it is for a man to be with a woman.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing in the Bible that says anything about that being wrong.
Yeah.
It should be the same for anyone that wants to be in love with someone. But to answer your question, we're not trying to change the type of anything, God's image of whatever, to please anybody or to please anything for that matter.
Yeah. And so what's interesting is where Carson says changing the image that God said was great. Here's the thing. What is the image of God? It's not male and female. The image of God has to do with God's character, being like him, loving like God, loving and serving others. God is love. He is agape love, selfless, self-sacrificing, other-centered love. And that is what he created us to be. And when Adam and Eve chose to be selfish, to think about themselves, to put themselves first, to basically pass the buck and blame their partner or the serpent for their own sin, that is when the image of God broke. Thank you for the rose, Harlena. That was very sweet. Thank you. And we are at 189 likes. That's great. Ooh, and a heart too. Thank you. Very, very nice. So I'm lost track of all the comments. Do you want to talk about unnatural?
I can. So
you don't have to. I'm just.
Your comment to that, Nicholas, to being unnatural. It's also what you just, cherry picking which parts you want to obey. I obey all parts. I was very much raised when I was a kid that don't have sex before marriage type of thing. Don't be in the same household with your partner. But I was raised with that mindset. But as I've gotten older, I understand that. As I've gotten older, I've learned that we as adults are able to make our own decisions on what we want to do, what we want to be, where we want to be in life, and who we want to be with.
Yeah.
So to answer that question, the Bible says man shall not lie with another man. That's all. Take it how you will.
Yeah.
What it means by is that particular scripture in the Bible is actually talking about man lying with a boy, or temple
prostitute. Yeah.
That's not someone who is actually in love with someone, actually wants to spend their time with that person 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
So that in itself is taken out of context completely.
It does actually say, okay, so when it says boy or temple prostitute, boy is an actual and appropriate translation of one of the words in Leviticus 20:13. It can be male or boy. So
Yeah.
it is a potential translation. And as far as temple prostitute, I get that from the context because the verses before and after Leviticus 18:22 are talking, or is it 20? I always get the numbers mixed up, but it's talking about it's talking about pagan worship practices before and after. So and we know that there was temple prostitution. They were called Kadesh or Kadesh if they were female.
So I've heard it say something. It doesn't say anything about women with women. No, it does not.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to start blocking people that are just
Yeah.
saying rude things. Just FYI.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
No, I'm telling them, not you.
Good. Yeah,
Okay. But thank you to whoever's making the likes bump up. We're over 700 now. We're almost at 800. So thank you, everybody. That's wonderful.
Block everything you don't like.
Can block everyone. Well, here's the thing. It's not about blocking people I don't like. If it was that, I would just ignore them. I'm trying to make a safe space for people who are struggling. I mean, is pretty firm in his convictions, and he loves Jesus, and he has worked all that out. But there are a lot of people who have not. And when they're struggling and somebody comes along and says things, earlier you were talking about, hey, like you didn't like yourself. And okay, you know what? We are blocking you.
Yeah.
That we don't talk about that kind of stuff here. I can't keep up with this, but thank you, Nicholas. I love you too. But what I was thinking about was, if you don't love yourself, how can you love anyone else? And I'm not saying this in a selfish way, but people that hate themselves, I heard one guy put it this way. He said, I had no problem with that verse, love others as you love yourself. I didn't love myself, so of course I couldn't love others. Maybe you could talk about that while I block a few people.
So that topic, and I say this to my partner a lot, my husband, because he has to be able to take care of himself before he can really take care of me or be there for me.
The oxygen mask.
That mainly looks like, from a mental capacity, is like, how much are you willing to do for yourself before you can go out and help someone else out with their struggles and be that person for somebody else that might need you. Like, you have to be able to take care of you before you can take care of anyone else or be there really for anyone else. Like, I had a support system, and I'm greatly appreciative of. That's what made me who I am today. And I'm still learning a lot about the community. I'm still learning a lot about the LGBT community. But I also have both. You know what? I'm not sure how I feel about that comment. To be honest.
Which the deceiving ourselves thing?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one, because we're not, and she's completely straight as can be, by the way.
Yeah.
FYI, she is not part of the LGBT community. She
I
is
am
an
not.
ally, and she is being a supportive ally right now by being on here and by having a safe space for people that are.
You know, going to heaven is not based on our behavior. It's based on what Jesus did. So if you're judging my relationship with Jesus and ours relationship with Jesus, then I think you need to go read Romans 2 verses 1 to, well, just read the whole chapter, but start with verse 1. Right? I did want to address a comment that was up here a few. Troy says, it says nothing about a woman with a woman. And that is true. Everything in the Old Testament that addresses same-sex behavior is always addressing the men and what men do with their bodies, not what women do. At all. The only exception would be bestiality, which, you know, I don't think anybody Hey, Big A, I see your request. Can you just tell me what you would like to share? Drop that in the comments before I bring you on, because
Yeah, please, because I don't want to be. Yeah, I would rather just know what you want to talk about.
yeah, I want to.
What version are you reading?
I read many versions. I'm memorized from the King James, and that was what I've read for most of my life and what I'm most familiar with. But I enjoy reading from a lot of different versions. Why does that make a difference?
Heaven is not about that.
Yeah, you don't get into heaven because of your actions. That's true. You get into heaven because of what Jesus did. And that is what we're basing our faith in, not on our behavior. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and just follow you for future reference. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Beth.
I'll have to do it later. I can't figure out how to do that from here.
But yeah, no. If y'all really want to know more about all of this topic, I go live every once in a while. I'm probably within next week. I'm not going to be doing as many lives because I have school starting.
Same.
But yeah. But if you all really want to stick around and like get to know us, depending on if we're on and stuff, you can DM me a list of questions if you have any. And the same thing with Miss Lisa. If you have questions and we're not on here, we can look at our DMs and we can take a look at those and kind of go through that and make a list and collaborate together and answer your questions as honest and as truthful as we can be.
Yep.
I can only talk from my point of view, but I can see about bringing in some other people that are part of the LGBT community and see if they would be willing to be in a box and talk about their experience and what their beliefs are. But if you would like that, that would be an option that we can do, for sure. So, I mean, if that's something you guys all want, then we will do that and we will figure out a schedule.
Sounds like a plan.
So I like you, by the way. You're freaking awesome. Like, I appreciate you.
Thank you. I really enjoy seeing you pop up on my lives. I know you can't be on all the time, and I can't either. And it's just kind of fun that we've both run into each other at the same time a few times. So,
I love it. It's freaking awesome.
It is.
Awesome. You are a very rad person, and don't let anyone that's in the chats bring that spirit down because I love it.
No, it's kind of crazy. I am posting on several different places. I post on everything. I post on TikTok first, and then it downloads the video automatically. So then I post it on YouTube. Then I go and post it on Instagram, which also posts to my business page on Facebook. Then I go to Facebook and post it there, which also posts it back to my personal Instagram account. So it's like going to, and what's crazy is that my business Facebook page does not, how do I put this? It does not have that many followers, not even 500 yet. No, maybe not even 300 last I checked. But I'm getting so many views and so many comments, and it's just absolutely insane to me that I cannot keep up. Some videos are getting several hundred comments, and sometimes I just have to turn the comments off because people are just rude. And
sometimes you have to do that.
What I don't understand is, as a Christian, don't we believe that it's the Holy Spirit's job to convict of sin? And if he isn't convicting someone of sin, how are they going to know? And so I was thinking about this, and people are like, well, we have to tell them it's a sin so that they can know. And I'm like, well, okay, so there is a Bible verse. How will they know if they haven't heard? And I thought about that a little more, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. That's not talking about sin. That's talking about the gospel. How will they hear the gospel if we don't tell them? Right?
Yeah, that's not talking about sin.
Yeah, tell them that Jesus saves them, and let the Holy Spirit convict them of what they need to do.
Yeah, very true.
It is. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna head out. I've been almost half an hour on here. I may try to go live later, but I really need to get some work done. Thank you to everyone who has been following and has, especially, she's not here anymore, I guess, but Harlena, who sent a whole bunch of roses and hearts and other things. So thank you very much. That was really sweet. And yeah.
Yeah, we'll touch back later.
Thank you to whoever hung out here on YouTube as well. Thank you, guys. Bye.
See you later.
And you predicted we'd have to come and see how it went, huh? Well, I got 3 new followers.
What?
I got 3 new followers during that live, from that live. And I got 1.2K likes. Look at me.
That was not me.
No, there was a,
I didn't.
I think it was,
I just saw you on my For You page, and I heard you say, "Okay, I'm gonna go with that."
yeah.
So that's why it came out.
119 people saw it. I got more diamonds.
40.
How much did I get?
40 cents. 46 cents.
That's what it said.
Look.
Oh, she sent 118 coins. It only said, okay, I only got like 17 roses, but she sent a whole bunch.
17 roses.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, she sent, no, it was, there's 13.
Look.
And there was another one before.
No, look. Do you know what that is?
I know, that's a heart.
That costs 100 gold.
Oh. Okay, because it was saying, see, I
Oh,
was
you need to
17.
realize.
I was 17 roses only.
You need to realize that you need to check the prices of gifts, because other gifts, they give animations on the screen, they give a lot.
Yeah,
It costs more.
it was this one. So that was like $1 that cost her $1?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
What's
Diamonds. Said this live. Yeah. Okay. Fun, fun, fun. I had to block a few people. They were rude. Oh. Okay, so she sent 17 roses, but she also sent a bunch of, she sent this heart, and then she sent this heart.
What about DHS?
He didn't show up today.
Oh.
That was yesterday.
I blocked.
I blocked, yeah, because the guy was saying rude things like, what was he saying? I guess you can't see it now because I blocked him, but that's...
Do you know how to, like, moderator block things, like ban? Did you block him, or did you block him his message as well?
I blocked the account. Why?
You can just go to, like, in case if you make...
I can mute the account, meaning that he can't comment, but he can still follow. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I've actually blocked them, because they can't even go to your profile anymore.
Yeah, I don't want them on my profile. The people that are rude, like saying really unkind or disgusting things, I don't want them on my profile.
7 cents. Only 7 cents this week.
That's the estimate.
What?
That's estimated based on past how much I'll make, but this live got 46, so that's going to change eventually. Anyway, you like my new banner? I found ChatGPT is the best. I asked Gemini to make me a banner, and it was doing it wrong. I finally downloaded what ChatGPT did, uploaded it to, Gemini did. Uploaded it to ChatGPT, explained what I wanted. It fixed it the first try, no problems, done. I'm like, okay. Gemini just does not understand how to do photos. All right. Oh, I didn't realize I was still live. Here, I'm just holding my phone. I'm going to leave now. If anyone wants to be on live in the future, feel free to reach out. Bye.